Velocity TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-minute action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up for turn number 4. Who's it gonna be? Good evening, race fans. It's been a long time since I've been on the airwaves. It's been, I'm going to say, about a week for me. Was down last night. Have to have some hiccups here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Phil out without cable. Jack down a computer. I guess I'm flying solo here for the rest of the week until Jack gets the backup computer. But I'm Todd Stanton. Going to have DWRL. We got the Wednesday night street fights, junk fabrication Wednesday night street fights here. Heat race number 1 already lining up here. We're at the Limaland Motorsports Park here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Thank you everyone for tuning in and making us your number 1 priority here this evening. Eric Eichstead out there sharing the DWRL link for the Teespring. I urge you guys to go on over there and buy some of their merchandise along with Full Velocity Racing merchandise, but head on over to DWRL, their Teespring, and help those guys out here. Heat race number 1 getting ready to come to post. It's going to go away like this. Starting on the pole, driving the number 84, that'll be EJ Jones, the natural one, in a different ride than I've seen in a while. And RJ Klein is dancing part of the outside in that number 14 machine. Inside row number 2 will be Stephen Moore aboard that number 73 machine. And Eric Eichstead aboard the number 12, the Voodoo Child, in position number 4. Position 5 sees the Iceman Daniel Stifler aboard that number 71, and David Brewer aboard the 319 in position number 6. 7th, we'll see Derek Debris aboard the 117 machine, and Jim Revis aboard the number 21 in position number 8. 9th and final starter on the field here in heat race number 1 will be Kevin Prettyman aboard the number 88 machine. The field is stacked and packed here, ready for racing action here in heat race number 1. All the Wednesday night street fights again. Limaland Motorsports Park here is where the evening festivities is going to take place here on the Full Velocity Racing Network as we get ready to come out of turn number 4. iRacing high flag, green flag is out, and we're racing here on a Wednesday night street fight occasion here as EJ Jones down into corner number 1. Your race leader, RJ Klein, running in that second spot. Stephen Moore running third, and fourth is Eric Eichstead. RJ Klein all over the rear bumper of that number 14 machine. We'll see if he's going to be able to do anything as they come down the back front straightaway here into turn number 1. EJ Jones running over them implement tires. The Uke tires down on the bottom, but able to keep it straight and right in the right direction in that position number 1. That's Cedar Cove number 84. That number 73 is Stephen Moore running in that third spot. Then you got the number 12 of Eric Eichstead running in fourth there temporarily, but it looks like something going awry there with one of the machines out there disappearing off the screen, unfortunately. looked like to be Stephen Moore. Losing some connection. Aliens trying to take him away. He's going to reappear back on the screen, though, in that third spot, as we have 5 laps remaining here. 5 in, 5 to go here, halfway home here at heat race number 1 with E.J. Jones, the natural one, showing the quick way around so far. R.J. Klein right there, hot on his heels in the number 14 machine. They go by the back straightaway there around the crowd into turn number 3 and off of turn number 4. The Mick Ultra number 84 going to continue to lead this one here with 3 to go. So the 84 of E.J. Jones trying to fend off the hard-charging number 14 machine of R.J. Klein with the popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 more trips around the speedway for the number 84 of E.J. Jones. Third is Stephen Moore in that number 73 machine. Then you have Eric Eichstad running in fourth there, battling it out there, duking it out with David Brewer. E.J. Jones coming down the down the front straightaway, front straightaway into turn number 1. Going to get the white flag for that number 84 Easy E. E.J. Jones on the front end of that as he's down here into turn number 3 and off of turn number 4. Going to pick up heat race number 1, the natural one, E.J. Jones in the Cedar Cove number 84. The 14 of R.J. Klein going to finish up second. Stephen Moore for 3. Eric Eichstad for 4. And David Brewer rounds out your top 5 here in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 getting ready to come to post, and the Voiles Trucking starting lineup going to go away like this. Starting on the pole, driving that 073 machine, that will be Steve Robbins. Outside of him will be Corey Stansel aboard the 119. Inside row number 2 in the third starting spot, that'll be Jordan Curie aboard the number 40 machine, and Caleb Ramsey aboard that number 13 position number 4. Fifth starter sees Henry Jones, the Hammer, in that number 25, and then Josh Peacock aboard the P61 machine, rolling off in 6th. 7th will be Bulletproof Motorsports number 18 of Kyle Surratt, and Kyle Moyer aboard that 111, rolling off position number 8. Shotgun on the field, a long road to hoe here in heat race number 2, the number 1, that is Alex Brewer. Looks like 9 cars we called for. All 9 cars out there on the speedway here. Heat race number 2 here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in here. It's been a little bit since I've been on the airwaves, but going to be at you here this whole rest of the week here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Like I said, my partners in crime down here out for the count. Different things going on. Jack tried to clean his computer, like I said. We had Phil do a little bit of a standby work by camera control, and definitely not really set up. We kind of threw things together to try to get the airwaves out there for some of you fans and get some of these races out on the airwaves, because we don't like to cancel our broadcast here like some other networks do. But Full Velocity Racing Network, thank you guys all for tuning in here, is trying to get in communication with the chat box. Haven't been able to do that here so far. But like I said, just trying to light things up. I cleaned my computer. My computer still is running strong. So definitely going to be rather interesting to see what's going to happen here. Jack with the backup computer is iRacing, iFlag, green flag going to come out here over heat race number 2. Again, the Junk Fabrications. D-Man number 72, Wednesday night street fights going racing here with the number 073 of Steve Robbins leading the way. Like I said, just looking here to try to get some communications here. Looks like I'm struggling on that side of things. Usually have a computer over here that does that, and it does not want to work with me here correctly. So we'll wait and see what happens here. But we're going to tell a little bit more about the racing action happening out here on heat race number 2. Steve Robbins, your race leader. Corey Stansel running in that second spot. No, he dropped back to 7th. Excuse me. Jordan Cutie running in 2nd, and Caleb Ramsey running 3rd. Henry Jones running in the 4th position, but not for long. Josh Peacock going to peek down to the bottom here. Peek up to the outside, trying to get around that number 25 machine, but Henry Jones going to get by him and put himself into that 4th spot. So here comes Caleb Ramsey to the outside of that number 40 machine. Side-by-side battle here. We come down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Ramsey to the outside. Jordan down to the bottom. There, that number 40 machine. We're going to get 3 laps to go just as fast as we can get them in here. And heat race number 2 is 3 laps to go. And it's Steve Robbins aboard the 073 machine. Caleb Ramsey running in that second spot, able to get around that number 40 machine. And then the Hammer, Henry Jones, running in fourth. Good run for that number 25 machine. Peacock really struggling to try to get around him. And the 18 of Kyle Surratt right there stuck too. A lot of these guys really struggle at Limaland, a little bit of short track. This is kind of a quirky track. I know I tried my DWRL debut here and started on the pole, finished 13th. So that goes to tell you how good of a race car driver I am here. But down the back straightaway for the final time into turn number 3. It's Steve Robbins aboard the 073 coming off of turn number 4 to pick up heat race number 2. Caleb Ramsey for 2. Third will be Jordan Cooney aboard the number 40. Henry Jones and Josh Peacock round out your top 5. So took a brief pause there to get a sip of my beverage here, sitting on the desk in front of me, but getting ready for feature racing action. Looks like 60 laps will be the distance of Limaland, and that goes away in a blink of an eye. Starting on the pole, the natural one, E.J. Jones aboard the number 84. Is dancing aboard the outside, heat race number 2 winner, the 073 of Steve Robbins. Inside row number 2, you'll see R.J. Klein aboard the number 14, and Caleb Ramsey aboard the 13 outside row number 2. Fifth starter sees the number 73, Bulletproof Motorsports number 73 of Stephen Martin, Henry Jones, the Hammer, the number 25 rolling off in position number 6. Seventh starter sees the BladeNote.com DWR, or Team DWR, Eric Eichstead, the Voodoo Child, and then number 12 machine Jordan Cutie aboard the number 40 in position number 8. Ninth starter sees David Brewer aboard the 319 and Josh Peacock aboard the JP Designs number 61, rolling off position number 10. Rolling off 11th to see Daniel Stifler aboard the number 71 machine Kyle Surratt aboard the number 18 in position 12. 13th position sees the 21 of Jim Revis. Corey Stansel in the 14th spot in the 119 machine. 15th sees Derek Debris aboard the 117 machine and Kyle Moyer aboard the 111 in position number 16. 17th sees Kevin Prettyman and Alex Brewer rounding out your field as this field rolling down the back straightaway here at Limaland Motorsports Park. They are restacked. They are repacked. Who's it gonna be? Racing down off into turn number 1, E.J. Jones, the natural one. And you can tell I haven't done that in a while. E.J. Jones, the natural one, leading this race here with the R.J. Klein running in that second spot. Ramsey in a 3-wide battle as it looks like Stephen Moore trying to battle it out, duke it out there with the 13 machine. Ramsey gets into contact with Robbins up there. Robbins has to back out of it wisely, but now he falls back into the clutches of the Hammer, Henry Jones. As there comes Caleb Ramsey back to the outside of that 073 machine as they dip down into turn number 1. Still continuing to try to get into some racing action here. Watching the 073 machine of Stephen Moore and the 73 machine. There's a pair of 73s trying to duke it out here with Caleb Ramsey. Right now, Ramsey, the meeting between the samples, a little bit of contact there between the Voodoo Child, Eric Eichstead, and the 073 machine of Robbins. Right now, Robbins, Robbins able to fend off that number 12 machine and able to hold on to the 5th spot there just over Eric Eichstead and that number 12 machine. So meanwhile, back up front, E.J. Jones trying to run away from the field from R.J. Klein. R.J. Klein right there, though, knocking on the door. The number 14 machine about 3 car lengths back. He's picking down to the bottom side. Then you got Stephen Moore running third. Ramsey running in that 4th spot. Robbins still in a pretty good heated battle there with the 12 of Eric Eichstead and the number 1 of David Brewer, or 319 of David Brewer. With Henry Jones right there, too. And then number 25 machine having a decent run here tonight in Wednesday Night Street Fights. Josh Peacock fighting it out with the Iceman Daniel Stifler aboard that number 71. So as they continue to fight it out there for position number 9. Daniel Stifler able to hold it out, trying to make sure that we're watching the battle here out in the speedway so far. Pretty much single file amongst the top 7 and 8 even for that matter. The battle for position is between position 9 and 10. That is Peacock and Daniel Stifler. Stifler trying to do something to get by Josh Peacock, working over the bottom of Peacock, just a little bit stronger on the outside of the speedway, able to hold on to the 9th spot so far. Starting to get a little bit dusty. As everybody out there on Facebook Live, we haven't seen any star donations, folks. Definitely want to see some star donations out here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. See what's going to go on here. Is the first Car Motorsports yellow flag going to come out over the speedway, and we're going to slow them down and restack and repack them here. Looks like Daniel Stifler around in a knot here. We'll go back to the instant replay here, the J-Max Journey instant replay, to see what happened to good old Daniel Stifler. And he disappears out of the screen. Looks like Gomer tried to take him away there, and oh man, he just reappears there, and he's already in a mess of carnage over there. The 21 gets involved of Jim Revis, and then so does the 88 of Kevin Prettyman. Corey Stansel right there, able to get around him too. But a little bit of damage there to the Iceman Daniel Stifler, the number 71 machine, who was battling it out for that 9th spot there with Josh Peacock. So tough break for Daniel Stifler. It definitely can't go to zero here on the star donations here. We got to at least get maybe 50 stars. I don't care, 10 stars out there. We cannot be shut out here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. If you like what you see here, make sure you hit us up with some star donations. The iRacing iFlag green flag comes back out over the field once again. We're on lap 15 of 60, coming up on lap 16 now as they dive off down into turn number 1. The 84 of EJ Jones continues to lead it with the 14 of RJ Klein now sliding down to the bottom here, trying to get a run. Don't count out that number 73 of Moore. He's right there knocking on the door too. Ramsey to the outside, and that number 13 machine again, resacking and repacking the field, did the best thing that they could do here, and that's going to bring them right tight knit together, and it's going to be a fantastic show. 3 wide racing there, a little bit of a door check there from the 13 into the 14. So 13 of Ramsey into the 14 of RJ Klein, that backs him up there. Oh boy, sideways and around goes. It looks like the 073 going to be able to hold on to it, but tough break for the 073. Nope, yellow flag going to fly once again. Second yellow flag of the evening here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. So we're taking a look-see here to see what happened. Almost willing to bet here. No, the 073 was down there, so I don't see any other major contact. Nope, it looks like the 073 bringing out that yellow flag, as it was enough to get sideways. The 073, let's see if we can go back far enough to see what happened to the 073 machine. Of why maybe he ended up as back far as he did. No, we're not going to have time enough to see it. Looked like a little bit of contact out there on the speedway. Disagreement of real estate there. Not a huge amount of contact, but you make a little bit of slight contact, and you're going to go around here at Limaland as iRacing iFlag green flag back out over the field. And the number 84 of EJ Jones able to lead again, but here comes RJ Klein down to the bottom, side by side for the race lead, almost 3 wide here through turns 3 and 4. But as EJ Jones with the pedal, the loud pedal down on the outside, the top shelf, ripping the lip up there, as they would say in the sprint car world. It looks like Surratt a little bit sideways out towards the back there, as he is trying to get the outside is EJ Jones, but RJ Klein working over the bottom to perfection, trying to hold on, but he's going to lead that time by. As a yellow flag comes out, that's going to put him in the lead. The race lead, the scoring loops here for that number 14 of RJ Klein, 84 of EJ Jones back to the outside here. We're almost halfway home here. We're on lap 24, so we got 6 laps to go before we meet that halfway point here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. And it's RJ Klein, our new race leader, and that number 14 machine. Second is the number 84 machine of EJ Jones, and third is the 73 of Stephen Moore. Moore right now holding on there, but looking to duke it out there with the 84, the natural one, E.J. Jones. Then you got Caleb Ramsey running in that 4th spot. Here comes the number 12, the BladeNote.com. Number 12, the Voodoo Child, Eric Eichstead, battling it out for the 4th spot, and Josh Peacock into the mix. Oh, more contact there. Brewer got into the side of the 13 machine of Caleb Ramsey. He gathers it back in. Brewer looked like he was going to go for a ride. Not the case, though. Able to wheel it out of that one. But a good battle going on for 4th still ensues there with the number 12 of Eric Eichstead peeking back down to the bottom. Side-by-side battle for the 5th spot. Meanwhile, race lead up for grabs as the 84 of E.J. Jones now moving to the bottom side. Side-by-side with R.J. Klein. Klein able to hold on to the top spot. E.J. Jones hits an implement tire down on the bottom. Gets a little bit out of shape. That's enough for R.J. Klein to chop the nose over there and turns 3 and 4. Or 1 and 2, excuse me, as he chopped the nose. Is Caleb Rife out there. Thank you, Caleb, for the 10 stars. Not going to go completely empty here tonight, but the 14 of R.J. Klein continuing to lead as E.J. Jones goes back to the on the outside of the speedway. Moore running in 3rd as we are halfway home. 30 in, 30 to go at the Limaland Motorsports Park. So Caleb Ramsey now back to the outside here, trying to get around Eric Eichstead. Eichstead working over the bottom, starting to get a little bit slippery down towards the bottom side of the speedway. For the number 12 machine, going to have to really pedal it to get around that 13 of Ramsey. But here comes the P61 of Josh Peacock to the extreme outside, following right there in the tire tracks of Caleb Ramsey. Starting to get a little bit dusty out here on the speedway. So again, Ramsey right now holding on to the 4th spot. Good battle now coming up here. The assault here for position number 1. R.J. Klein has it. The 84 of E.J. Jones wants it back as R.J. Klein working over the bottom, but Eric Jones, E.J. Jones, I should say, high-low switch maneuver, side-by-side battle as R.J. Klein goes to the outside. E.J. trying to pull the slider, not going to be had out of the corner, but going to try it once again back down to the extreme bottom. That number 84, Cedar Cove number 84, trying to out-drag race up to the start-finish line. Still going to be R.J. Klein that time by the start-finish line, but Jones working over the bottom, same way with the 073. He's right there knocking on the door. Maybe can split the difference between these two guys up front in the 1st and that 2nd spot. As at number 14, Klein still holding on to 84 of E.J. Jones, working in the middle groove and trying to get around that 14 and not able to be had there. Can't get that forward bite, that forward momentum. Klein has found the top side there in that number 14 machine. The 84 of E.J. Jones able to hold on to 2nd, but I don't know for how long, as the 73, excuse me, and Moore right there knocking on the door, and he's found the outside as E.J. Jones goes up to block the run of that number 73 machine. But guess what? We're going to throw a yellow hanky out and throw a yellow hanky into the mix here. No, it's not a 15-yard penalty. It's another Har Motorsports yellow flag here. Going to be the 4th one here of the evening. Going to restack and repack the field. So we're going to take a look to see what went on. It's all by a selfie. The 119 of Corey Stansel going around. And he had a handful of steering wheel. Goes around in a knot over there in the corner. That 119 of Corey Stansel all by a selfie. Into the corner. We'll see if he's going to pull it back out onto the speedway. It looks like he's going to lose a lap. He runs over the implement tire down there on the speedway. But tough break for the 119 of Corey Stansel. Taking a little bit, thank you, seeing Phil out there watching, seeing Caleb Ramsey, Robbie Buckner, Caleb Rife out there. That's all right, Caleb. 10's good. We keep the streak going. As the iRacing I flag, green flag comes back out just as quick, and look at the charge here throughout the field. E.J. Jones, Caleb Rife, taking E.J. Jones. That's a solid pick out there. Robbie, good to see you out there. Seen you did the VLR race last night. Good job out there. Again, Backward Hats promotion. Robbie Bruckner out there in the chat box. Appreciate everything those guys do. And man, if we're not on, I definitely say go over there and look at Backward Hat promotions. And one of these times we're all going to get together and announce all together. Not drunk. We're going to get together and seriously announce here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Between that and Backward Hat, we'll have to talk to those guys over there. Fantastic group of guys and ladies and everything else over there. So back to racing action. It is R.J. Klein, your race leader. E.J. Jones still looking to dive down to the bottom side as the 84 machine just can't handle it off the corner. As we're going to get 16 laps remaining. Josh Peacock up to the third spot there in the P61. Man, he's on a mission there. He was mired in the middle portion of the pack, but he's starting to make some headway here in that P61 machine. Same guy, the 18 of Kyle Surratt, working over the extreme bottom, trying to get around Ramsey there. Ramsey holding on to the fourth spot. Surratt was trying to move himself up to the fifth, but Moore was able to hold on to the fifth spot. So guess what? It is all one to topside dominant here at Limaland. That's really no surprise. So we're going to start probably seeing some sliders here, and probably some dirty sliders to try to get around some of these other drivers to maybe take home a victory here at the Wednesday Night Street Fights, Junk Fabrication Wednesday Night Street Fights, that is, here on a beautiful Wednesday night here in upstate New York. Here about 31 degrees. Yeah, it's cold. It's going to be cold all winter. Can't wait for real race season out here in the Northeast. And man, this is fantastic. Would love to be down here at Limaland. Maybe the weather would be a little bit nicer for me. But we are back here digging it out here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Again, tomorrow night we have East-West Promotions coming up. It's going to be my first asphalt race by myself. So we're going to see how that goes. See if I have the longevity of an asphalt announcer. Definitely a dirt announcer. Asphalt is a little bit harder. Thank you, Robbie, for the 500 stars. The yellow flag going to come out here over the speedway. So this is going to be a fifth yellow flag. So we're going to restack, repack this field back up. Not going to be as boring as it was. These guys are going to be able to come back up, gather it up. You'll probably see some pretty good racing here under this yellow flag, after this yellow flag, you should say. Yeah, I could tell it, Robbie. You could tell that you were a little bit nervous, but hey, man, I'm greatly appreciative that you could step in and take over that. Like I said, we had it scheduled to Full Velocity Racing Network to do it. KT was really nice about it over there at VLR, and I'm glad that you got the gig last night and able to showcase your talents here at on Backwards Hat Promotions. That's fantastic, it really is. So, who do you guys have? I want to know these picks. 8 laps to go. Corey Stansel, gonna fly by. Wow, I don't know about that one. Stansel trying to get his lap back and restarted in front of the race leaders. They made it through, but man, that could have been a lot worse for the wear. As the iRacing I flag, green flag is out. That number 84 of E.J. Jones, man, a power move to the outside. Able to take back over the race lead to Cedar Cove. Number 84. The natural one out to the race lead. Then you have the number 14 of R.J. Klein. Running in that second spot. Then the P61 of Josh Peacock running in the third. Trying to fend off, and Surratt working to the outside now. Up to the fourth spot. Bulletproof Motorsports really strong there in third and fourth. Do they have anything left in the tank, or in the bank, I should say, to try to catch the natural one, or even the 14 of R.J. Klein? Those guys have been the class of the field all evening long. So we're going to get 4 laps to go here, and it's the 84 machine still showing the quick way around there in front of R.J. Klein, that number 14 machine. So Klein now knocking on the back bumper of E.J. Jones. Jones knows he's there. He's hitting the wall there, tail whipping the wall with the right rear quarter panel of that number 84 machine. That's what I love about full-fendered cars. You're able to do that as they come through 3 and 4. Here, going to see the popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more trips around the Limaland Motorsports Park for the natural one. E.J. Jones there in the Michelob Ultra, sponsor number 84. RJ Klein right there. Third is Josh Peacock in the number 61 machine. Going to come back out of turn number 4. This is going to be the final lap. It's going to be decided. Is it going to be the 84 or the 14? Oh, the 61 of Peacock. He could even jump into this one. Down the back straight away for the final time into turn number 3. Here comes RJ Klein down to the bottom. Going to throw everything he has at him, including that Kitchen. Not going to be had. The 84 of EJ Jones going to take down the victory. Second going to go to the 14 of RJ Klein. Josh Peacock for 3. Kyle Surratt for 4. David Brewer 5th. 6th is going to be Kyle Moyer. Alex Brewer. Derek Dubray. Then you have Daniel Stifler in 9th. Henry Jones in that 10th spot. Jim Revis in 11th. 12th, we'll see Stephen Moore. Steve Robbins going to finish up in the 13th spot. 14th, Jordan Goody. Corey Stansel in 15th. 16th going to be Caleb Ramsey. Eric Geiksted. 17th and 18th, Kevin Prettyman. So it is the number 84 of the natural one, EJ Jones. We're going to make our way on down to BladeNode.com victory lane as he picked up the race win here. RJ Klein finished up a solid second there for the number 14 machine in the 61. Bulletproof Motorsports own JP Designs, number 61 of Josh Peacock finished up third. So I'll make my way on to BladeNode.com victory lane, and we'll catch up with the top 3 here in just a few moments here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. So we're making our way on down to BladeNode.com victory lane. We're going to pass by first the driver of that number 61, Josh Peacock, going to bring home the 3rd position here tonight. Josh, you had a long way to come through that field, man, and this is not an easy track to navigate. Probably not one of your favorite tracks either, but finishing up in that 3rd spot in that P61 machine, Josh. Nice to see you back here on the podium, and, man, it's great to be announcing again, man. It's been a while for me, but Josh, tell us about your run here and how you got to the front.
Yes, glad to see you back. Yes, I like the track. It is hard to pass on, and I probably didn't make too many friends coming up here, but all cars on the rail. It's pretty quick all night.
Now, where did you prefer the groove there? It looked like you kind of went topside dominant there, Josh, but as you were making your passes through the field, was the bottom even there here tonight?
Now, you can make the bottom work right after your restart, but once those guys up top got the momentum rolling, it's very hard to compete on the bottom.
Yeah, definitely a short track. It's one of these tracks that can become high side dominant, and the dirty sliders definitely prevail here at Limaland quite a bit, Josh. As you were making your way through the field, we all know Rubbin's racing there, but did you have any animosity through the field? I'm going to say, did you rub with somebody you think you may have made angry? You want to apologize to? Try to make you step on it.
I don't think I upset anybody that bad, but if I did, you're more than welcome to come talk to me.
All
We
right,
didn't really
Josh.
throw no dirty side jobs, but we had to use a little bit of the bumper and a little bit of the door. But hey, everybody
Yeah.
stays.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not meaning to cut you off. I just tried to back you in the corner there. See what you did. Professionalism.
You can't do that to me, Todd.
I know. try to get a riot out of you there, Josh. Definitely good to see your professionalism there in that 61 machine. So I'm gonna try a question here, Josh. Another question before I
So
let you go. So, man, I tried here I started out on the pole and I finished 13th. Definitely, if you were gonna throw me a pointer, and knowing you're one of the guys here that is always tough to beat here at a track like this, if you're gonna throw me a pointer, or throw anybody that's trying to come into iRacing a pointer here about Limaland, how would you go about attacking this track, just learning it?
especially in the street stock, it's all about momentum. Once you break your momentum, this thing kind of falls flat on its face. So got to keep her wound out, smooth and consistent.
Very, very good pointer. I'm going to have to take that into consideration. Like I said, we had some guys out there who was interested in iRacing here tonight. Definitely want to see promoters get them pointers out there and try to get everybody enticed into it. I know street stocks is where you probably should start there. I tried the late models, the super late models, as soon as I got this game, and that was a bad idea. But again, Josh is one of those drivers that'll help you out. This league here, you come over to DWRL, Bulletproof Motorsports guys, Team DWR. Those guys will all help you out over here and try to get you pointed in the right direction. Again, this is one of them invite series, but you go to the Sunday night shootout, and this is where you're able to convulge with these guys and maybe learn a thing or two. I definitely recommend getting in touch with some of these guys we're interviewing here tonight or interviewing any of these series. But again, Josh, I'm leaving the microphone. The floor is all yours. I'm taking a lot of thunder here tonight because I haven't talked a lot in a very long time, so I feel bottled up. So I'm giving you that microphone and let you think whoever really like to think.
Nah, first off, I think I'm my teammates, Bulletproof Motorsports. Second, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, Tim Cummings, CCM Custom Graphics and Design. Give a shout out to JMax. Check them out on Facebook at JMax Journeys or Jonathan Journeys. Also, check him out at jmaxstrong.com. They're selling apparel to help fund his medical expenses. Also, he's been streaming a lot of Wreckfest and stuff like that. They have built switches into his wheelchair where he can work the gas and the brake using his head. Definitely check them out at Modern Dude Gaming. Won't be disappointed. Give a shout out to FVRN, be on the race card and everything they do for us. Put on a phenomenal broadcast. All the guys DWRL and everybody out there watching.
All right, Josh. Hopefully, we'll see you back down a couple spots better next time here down in the victory lane. But third place finish, podium finish. Again, congratulations on that tonight.
Thanks, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a longer interview with Mr. Josh Peacock, but I'd like to give him some limelight out there in that number 61 machine. We'll make our way to a guy that I haven't talked to in quite some time here, finishing second, driver of that number 14 machine, RJ Klein, able to take down second. You had the lead for a little bit there, RJ. Definitely a fantastic race between you and EJ, and even Josh was starting to sneak in there towards the end of this one. But tell us about your race here tonight.
It was a really good race. Definitely for me, I couldn't ask for much better. Being up front all night, my first race back in a while. I knew once the caution came out, EJ was getting good restarts on that high side, and I kind of had the feeling that he would edge me out on that high side because that was where you had to be, at the end of the race.
You guys were definitely, your lap times are pretty consistent with one another. It was kind of like one of those yellow flags. You probably didn't want to see the yellow flag after you got around him, did you?
No, once I got by him, I was praying for no cautions, but that's how it goes. That's right.
So RJ, how hard is it to pass at a track like this? Is it easier towards the first part of the race versus the end of the race, or it's just difficult all race long here at Limaland?
My opinion, early on, if you don't make your move early on, it's tough. Once the track slicks off and everything, to me, my setup, everything goes to high side and you can't run the bottom. It's just, I don't know. Once it slicks off, it's kind of a one-lane track and it's tough to pass. You could probably throw a dirty slider, but That's not how these guys or myself do it here at DWR. We try to keep it pretty clean.
All right, RJ, before I let you go, I'll give you the microphone one last time. You can thank whoever would like to thank here for the second place finish tonight.
I'd like to thank UMWA, Eichstead Wraps, Poske's Performance Parts, Friends of Co. Thank you guys for putting this broadcast on. You guys do a wonderful job, and thank Jim and Eric, all the guys at DWR for putting on this great race. They do one hell of a.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, bringing home second here tonight is Limaland Motorsports Park driver that number 14, RJ Klein. We'll let him get back up to the chat here. We'll let him go chat with whoever he wants to. We'll make our way on down to BladeNode.com, Victory Lane. And I'll get ready, fire up that grill, get those Michelobes, get the dancing people down there. EJ Jones making his way down to Victory Lane once again. I get to interview him. Oh, man, EJ. About time you come back down to Victory Lane. It's been a little bit since I've seen you out on the track, but man, a W here tonight at Limaland Motorsports Park, and you had to fight real hard with that one with RJ.
Yeah, me and RJ had a hell of a battle there. That was it was good to see him back out there because I know he hasn't been around in a few months, and we were just talking about that up in the green room before we got pulled in the broadcast here. But yeah, I mean it was an awesome run. Got to especially thank the guys at Dirt Warrior Racing. I took one of their setups they had in the Discord from earlier and made some tweaks to it. I probably loosened it too much, but I mean it just kind of drove around the top. It would just drive around the bottom, and you just had to kind of be easy on the gas so you didn't kick the rear tires off under it. But other than that, I can't complain too much, especially, I mean, I take like 2 weeks off, and then all of a sudden iRacing puts me in the front row. I mean, maybe I need to take 2 more weeks off.
Yeah, that's rather interesting, EJ. They put you on the front row, give you a nice pill draw. It's definitely, maybe you want to take 2 more weeks off. But I'd like to see you down here in Victory Lane. You throw a whale of a party down here, too, with different things going on here. But, man, definitely good to see you back down here. And like you said, that top side seemed just to be dominant here tonight. The bottom just seemed to slick it off really, really quickly.
It took the bottom longer to slick off than I thought it was going to. I figured that would have moved up top a lot sooner in the race. RJ timed it just right, and I didn't. So, I mean, that's about the norm. I don't time anything right, it seems like. And, sometimes, I'm an idiot, and I do idiot things. And other times I don't get there quick enough. And other times I don't make moves fast enough. So, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to get lucky, and we got that caution with 10 to go. And that basically won the race for me just because I got a good enough restart. RJ couldn't get back up on the top in front of me until I got around him at least. So sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you win them with skill, but I mean, anyway, I'll take the win.
Yeah, win's a win. But one more question before I let you thank people. One more question. The Uke tires down at the bottom, I call them the implement tires. You hit them earlier in the race. We seen you here on the Full Velocity Race Network.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do they give you extra bite in the corner?
In real life, they usually do, and this thing here just feels like the whole car just shakes and bounces all over the place. I think it hurts more than it helps, but at the same time, I guess if you run over it right, it could probably help, but you're not going to hit it just right, every time. You're going to screw it up probably 9 times out of 10, I would think, but I do my best not to try to hit them, and if I do, I try to run over the top of them with the middle of the car instead of the tires.
Well, they're usually at least they're buried here. They're not the big old tractor Uke tires just sticking out there where you have no possibility of running them over. I know on my track, you see cords showing on those tires. By the end of 3 or 4 races, you start seeing cords show on those tires because they're hitting their left front off those tires in the corner.
Yeah, I've been to Boone, Iowa a few times. They got kind of the same setup in the turns there. And the stock car guys, they use the hell out of those tires sometimes. And it kind of makes me cringe a little bit because that's hard on spindles and ball joints. That's hard on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, EJ. I took a front-wheel drive over those tires quite a few times, and it took the whole belly pan off my engine.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to take a front-wheel drive over them, Todd.
Well, it was the fastest way to get around there.
Yeah, but sometimes the fastest way is not the best way.
The guy was blocking me. Had to do it.
I mean, you could have moved him. I mean,
Yeah, you're right. It would have cost me a little bit less money, probably.
I mean, you could have dicked him, but I mean, you didn't. So I mean, I'm kind of like you. I wouldn't have dicked him either, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't like pissed off people at the end of the night. I want a beer from them or something. I want a drink.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. I don't like pissing people off either, so I just do my best just to not do it.
Well, EJ, I'll give you the microphone one last time. You can thank whoever would like to thank here tonight on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
I've got to thank the guys, Senior Code of Speed, Dylan and Charles. We just got back. Me and Dylan and a couple of our other buddies just got back from the Chili Bowl on Sunday. Man, I tell everyone now, if there's one race you can go to a year, go to the Chili Bowl. Yeah, you're crammed in there like sardines on Saturday, but I mean, you can literally watch racing from 10 in the morning to about midnight the entire day with only like about 30-minute breaks in between sometimes to rework the track. But it's definitely a great experience. I recommend anyone go. Got to thank Ike Said Raps for the I don't even know what's on the card now. I know the girls are still on. That's almost like a requirement. They have to be on there. And Michelob. Team Dirt Warrior, got to thank them as well. Took one of the setups that was in the Discord and modified it to loosen it up too much. But, I mean, live and learn. Say hey to my mom. Also, thanks, Peter. Say hey to my girlfriend, Lisa. She's probably asleep now because she's not answering my text message, but that's okay. And guys at Full Velocity Racing for putting the broadcast on. I think that's it. I feel like I say too much and and then I listen to Kyle Larson's interview down at the Chili Bowl and like, I don't think I say it enough now.
Definitely a good one there. I have to agree with you. You see a lot of these guys, the drivers, they go yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, I've got a little notepad on my phone monitor that I can just kind of look at to refresh my memory of who I need to thank. So I try to get rid of the O's and the ums and the ho and the does. But it's it is what it is.
It still comes out. But EJ, again, congratulations on your big W here tonight. I'll be down there to join you here, partying here in just a little bit. Michelob, and I know you got the grill fired up, so we'll be down there here momentarily. Again, congratulations again.
Thanks. Yeah, we got the grill fired up. Michelob's hamburgers hot, and gotta say sorry to my girlfriend because I guess it would close the feed on her phone. So I'm sorry, babe.
All right, we're gonna put let EJ Jones get back to it there, but again, we'll see him soon again.
Take these guys.
So we let EJ Jones go. Great racing here for the Junk Fabrications DWRL Wednesday night street fights here. Again, a fantastic showing. Tomorrow night we got East West Promotions here. The ground pounding, earth shaking, mighty modifieds of the Northeast. Again, the Wayland Modifieds. That's going to be a fantastic show here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. I got to thank our great sponsors, though, that make things happen here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. And we'll take a look here and just take a quick oversee of all of our sponsors. Got to thank Hard Motorsports, High Racing, iFlag, Voyles Trucking, J-Max Strong, J-Max Journeys, BladeNote.com, Simple Web Solutions powered by Nerd, South Texas Speedway, Milner Designs and Production and Designs, whatever you want to call it. I like to mess with tubs, so I mess with the wording on that as much as I can. TDR-Racing.net, Trash Panda Graphics, 3D Racing, Pit Pass by Katie, JP Designs. And then you also have Cyber Thunder and Sheffield Graphics coming aboard as the official onboard sponsor of the Full Velocity Racing Network. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the stars out there. Missed a couple of the star donations. Katie out there with 50 stars there, a 5-week streak. Got to thank also, once again, Robbie Buckner for the 500 stars, and Caleb Reif with the 10 stars here tonight. Definitely appreciate all the fans tuning in. Also reminding you guys to check out teespring.com/stores. Dirt Warrior Racing. Eric Eichstad's been putting that link up here all evening long. Check that out too. Get a nice design t-shirt over there, and definitely sport out one of the best restock leagues here in the iRacing community here. But again, I'm going to sign off for the evening. Be back at it tomorrow night, reminding you to keep those 4 tires firmly planted on the ground and keep that hammer down. We'll see you next time here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing. Good night.